Well, this next conversation really is on how to make health and safety an integral part of our daily lives. Let me introduce my guests. Philip Thompson is an occupational health and safety superintendent, Golden Star Bogoso Prestia Limited. He's joining us via Zoom. And also Dr. Kodia Dapa is manager health, safety and environment with Chirano Gold Mines. Okay, Philip is here. And Dr. Kodia, rather, is joining us via Zoom. So good morning to you, first of all. Thank you for joining. And then, Dr. Kodia, if you can hear me, a very good morning to you as well as you join us on Zoom.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Philip.
Good morning, Doctor.
Okay, so let's start this way. Can you both help us understand how important community health and safety, especially among our rural folks, especially with the kind of work that you do? Let's start from Zoom. I'll come back to you in the studio.
Okay.
Dr. Kodia, let's begin with you.
Thanks. I think the core spirit of safety is the presence of positives or competence and not absence of negatives. And in this discussion, the strongest link is people, and people form the strongest link with regards to safety, competence in safety. In that sense, we set people as the strongest, the highest focus in terms of safety management. And for that reason, the community people, we see them as part of us. They are our partners in development. And let's not forget that some of our employees also stay in the community. So the community and the mining operator is like in a tango dance. They are in tandem, and the two they form as one. In that sense, whatever affects the community affects the mining. And on the mine side, safety is number one priority. So by natural extension, safety and health of the people in the community becomes a focal point for discussion too.
Okay. All right.
So that's how safety is important to us as far as the community and health safety is concerned.
Yeah. Philip, I want you to continue, but also help us appreciate with the experiences on the ground.
Yeah. Safety and health is very important in our everyday life. And as Doc said, if you are operating in a mine or you are in a community and you are not taking your safety principle or protocols important, it's very, very difficult for you to survive. The work we do is with so many hazards and risk. So safety is paramount in everything that we do. In our catchment communities, as Doctor said, we are with them. And most of our employees also stays in the community. So safety starts from their home and it ends up at the work site, back to back. So safety is very important in everyday life.
I was just going to say, it must be difficult, or is it difficult if a person, first of all, is not aware of these guidelines before they get into the mines? Because then it means you're teaching them from scratch,
yes,
something that you want imbibed in them.
Yes. It starts from home, and this is what I say always, that the question that you need to keep asking yourself as a person in the community or someone who is vying to work in the mine is that what will I do that will get me hurt, or what will hurt me, or what will cause ill health to my life. So these things are the things that we preach in the community and as well as at the website, so that it to be part of their everyday life. Yeah.
Dr. Kodia Dapa, let me come to you particularly with this pandemic, the COVID-19, and how important are health and safety protocols around this period, Dr. Kodia Dapa?
Yeah, okay. I think one of the core facets of safety is risk management, and the pandemic form part of risk. In that sense, of course, it becomes making sure that going by the risk management protocols could be extended to the pandemic. And the key aspect of risk management protocol is avoiding or eliminating the risk if you go by the hierarchy of control, or you're trying to control it. So the pandemic was seen or is seen as a risk. And in that sense, you need to manage it by following the protocols on the risk management. First thing is eliminating it or avoiding it, and trying to control it through engineering control, taking the affected out of the equation, or the travel path, the medium of transmission out of the equation, or at the generating point where the source of the pandemic is out of it. So that's how it forms part of the risk management, and that's how it's seen in terms of managing it under the protocols of safety.
How hard has it been trying to change mindsets around this period?
Yeah, I think it's at one point, I think it's challenging in the sense that on one side of it, as far as the mining operation is concerned, I think it's heavily regulated. It's a disciplined industry. However, when you go off the fence, some of us may have impression that now there is no need for compliance. But we're trying to integrate this, like Thompson said, is from home to workplace and back home. Right to safety is right to return home safe. So that's how it's being seen. It's a journey, and you never get to your destination. It's like sweeping water uphill. If you stop, it flows back. So it continues so long as you remain in the industry.
And Philip, here I want to start with, because I know that you have some basic first aid and safety tips to share with us to get us to be conscious, especially the young ones. So where do we begin that?
Okay, children and people in the community. I'll focus more on the community where we operate, because there are certain things that people ought to know to help them. For instance, someone has gone to the farm and is bitten by a snake in the community. What do I do? So there are simple things that you can do to prevent the person's condition from getting worse.
But you make this your business, even though the scenario that you paint right now is not a typical mining situation.
Yes, but our job also extends to the bush. Our geologists, our exploration guys are always with the community guys. They work in the bushes. And,
so the community problem essentially is also
our
your problem.
Yes. So we ought to educate our community members as to how to take care of themselves when they encounter with such issues.
So one is what you're just sharing with the snake bites.
Snake bites.
Okay.
Yeah, so snake bites simply something that you can do to prevent the venom from getting to your system. So when someone is bitten with snake, you just have to quickly let the person lie down, raise and support the upper body, so that the venom will not flow through up to cause problems to the person. And then you would have to look at where the bait is. So you apply a direct pressure with a pressure bandage or anything that you find, let's say a rag, you can tie it around that place, and then monitor if there is a blood flow. Then you can also extend the tying of the bandage or the pressure bandage or the rag up. And then you keep the person still. Then you call for help. So that the venom will not flow into circulation to,
So this is something that you practically teach them?
We practically teach them in the community. And then we have yearly program, that is the safety competition, where we train the community members. We bring them together, we take them through training, first aid training, and then we go and compete in a zonal, at the zonal level, and then so those that we have trained go back into the community to also train their people. So the education continue to spread, so that people are more conscious about how to take care of themselves when they are encounter with such issues.
This is good. I'm impressed. I didn't think it's extended to the entire community.
It is
like that, like the way you're saying it. And Dr. Kodiadapa, what other safety tips would you want to share with our viewers? And what have you been doing on the ground that you'd like to share with us?
I think one of the key things is in terms of enhancing the competency of the community members, which Philip said is true. We train them and we compete. One important thing is also to encourage, empower them. And the empowerment is through coaching, creating the awareness, and then making the first aid as part of their way of doing things. It's part of life. Get it integrated into their cultures, especially at school and at home. And then, of course, together it gets embedded in their life. And then we all co-create a future for Ghana through the kids who will be our future leaders. So this is how, in a nutshell, we can enhance safety on the mind side, which is mostly high, and getting the community to also to be at the same level, so that we all enjoy. Because like I said, the right to safety is the right to return home. And when you return home safe, then the family will be happy and everybody will be happy. It's always bad to see yourself or a colleague being part of the safety statistics because of carelessness, recklessness, and maybe not following the protocols, leading to injuries, either at home or at workplace. So the best way for us to remain safe, and the right thing to do is to return home safe. So that's what I will add to what Philip has said.
Okay, so Philip, I understand there's also a way when somebody's choking.
Yes.
Okay, can you, because I'm interested, our viewers would learn one or two from the things you're saying.
Sure. When someone is choking, if the person is conscious, you encourage the person to cough.
Okay.
So if you cough, it might be possible that the obstruction will be dislodged. If it doesn't happen, then you go to the next level, which is back blows. You give the person back blows. Yes, so you lean the person forward, and between the two shoulder blades, then you use the heel of your palm, using your right hand, supporting the stomach, lean him or her forward, and then you give 5 back blows.
The way you say the blows, it means it's not gentle.
Just the heel. It's not gentle. You see, you need to go through a little pain to also dislodge, because you will be, you will not be feeling comfortable if you are unable to breathe well. And then if that one, after the 5 blows, you check whether the thing has come out. If not, then you go to the next level, which we call abdominal thrusts. The abdominal thrust, you would have to locate the navel base, and then you interlock your hand, and then you press. You let the person lean forward. You press in and up. Okay. The content in and out. Okay. So if the object is in there, it will come out. Okay. So that one too, you do it 5 times, and then you check. If it doesn't, you need to continue the cycle whilst you call for an emergency ambulance to, come to your aid. Okay. But going through this process, I believe it will come out. It's something that is proven. Yeah. Okay.
So whilst you were talking, Doc, you wanted to say something from your reaction?
No, I just in support of my good friend Thompson, Philip. Yeah, he's done it. He's made it as simple as possible. I don't think I can do better than he's done now. For now. Okay.
So whilst I'm still trying to get the tips from the two of you, let's concentrate on bends, because there's also a way out with bends. Yes. Please help us with the steps.
Okay, bends. We have 3 types of bends. We have the scar. That is when you are cooking and the vapor, you open the saucepan and, water has, pour on your body. And then we also have hot burns, which when you are cooking or something burns, something hot burns you.
Say hot water pours on your, on a part of your body.
Exactly. So what you just need to do is to flood the place with cold water, just normal cold water, for at least 10 minutes. Okay. So whilst you are cooling, the pain will be easing. So after the 10 minutes flooding with the place with water, cold water, after 10 minutes, if the pain has subsided, then you can, cover it with a plain plastic bag.
Okay.
Doing that, you are trying to prevent infection because the skin is exposed now to germs. So we just have to cover it.
Okay.
Now, if it is very severe, it might affect even the person's breathing. So in that sense, that one, quickly you need to flood the place with water whilst you check the person's vital signs.
Okay.
To check whether he's breathing, whether the person is, not deteriorating. So I've been gone through flooding at least 10 minutes, you check. And then if the pain has subsided, if it has been relieved, then you cover it with a clean plastic bag or kitchen film. So to prevent, the place being infected.
Okay.
And also, you need to remove, if there is any jewelry or watches around the affected area. Because the next thing is the person, the area is going to swell. So you need to take all those things out so that it doesn't, swell and you have it be difficult removing it. Because
so this is this is the first aid before you seek extra
medical care. Yes.
Okay. There's dog bites as well.
Yes. Dog bite, simply you just have to use soap and warm water to wash the bitten place.
Normal soap?
Normal soap.
Okay.
Just normal soap with the warm water. Then you wash it, this to reduce the risk of infection.
Okay.
And then after, you cover it with sterile dress, and then you take the person to the clinic. If the wound is deep, it's deep and wide, you need to take the person to a hospital for further treatment. Okay,
so the final one will be if a person falls from the stairs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, when someone falls from the stairs, a lot of things happen. One, the height where the person is falling from, to the age of the person. If the person is an old person or very young, it should also be taken into consideration. And you should also take into consider where he landed and how the person landed. Now, there's a possibility that he might sustain some fractures or spinal injury. So in that case, you don't have to unnecessarily move the person. The first thing that you have to suspect, depending on the mechanism of injury, you suspect that the person might have a spinal injury. So first you have to, stabilize the head, because if the head is stabilized, then the neck is, the neck is not going to move anyhow. But if
so that's to firm up the neck.
Firm up, you stabilize the neck.
Okay.
And then if there are bystanders or any person around, you ask the person to have a towel or cloth and then fold it around the neck while you keep stabilizing the head. So whilst doing that, you'll be checking the person's vital signs, the breathing, and then you call for help. Because you don't need to move the person unnecessarily. And then you have to also inform the person he shouldn't be moving himself unnecessarily because there's a risk of having a spinal injury.
Well, thank you for teaching us these things. Dr. Kodiadapa, just what Philip's been sharing, these are some of the things that you've been doing on the ground. We thought you just concentrate on your minds, but you do a whole lot more than that. So thank you. But how helpful has these tips been for the people in the communities where you operate?
Yeah, it's very helpful in the sense that just take it that anytime there is an emergency in the community, they would like to fall back on the mine for assistance. So long as you continue to maintain and keep the community safe, yes, then you can also rest assured that you can have a good sleep without thinking about what is happening during the night. So it's very important that we share our knowledge and skills with them. At the end of the day, when it comes to job opportunities, some of them also come back to the mine to work for us. So once the person is well skilled, he has a skill set in terms of the core duty of safety and health, he then is already the first step into the mine. So it's very important, and like Philip said, some of our community, some of our players, our employees also stay within the community. So in that sense, it's like the community and the mine, they are in one. one spirit. So once the mind is well, the community is well, and the mind is well too.
Well,
so
thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Kodia Dapa, who is Manager Health, Safety and Environment with Chirano Gold Mines. Happy National Safety Week, I must say to you. And then also Philip here. Philip Thompson is Occupational Health and Safety Superintendent with Golden Star Bogoso Prestia Limited. Yes. So you guys are competitors.
Yes.
I didn't feel that in that conversation.
Okay, when it comes to safety, there's no competition.
Yes.
Our core mandate is to ensure that everybody who comes to work go home back safely.
Yeah.
So there's no competition when it comes to safety.
Absolutely.
It is something that we all want to, learn together and practice together to ensure that everyone is safe.
Well, thank you very much for the tips that you shared as well. Well, thanks to the Ghana Chamber of Mines for this conversation, really. Stay with us. We've got the National Science and Maths Quiz, the trivial question, and the updates. We're done with all the other stages. Where we are going to is the 1/8. We're done with the preliminary stage. We're going to the 1/8 stage of the competition. So what must you know? But have you also attempted my trivial chemistry question today? If you haven't, time's up. Stay with us.